the motherfucker more pellets than Batman. Undercover trying to listen in like rap.
What's going on, brother? To your email, the Kraig 2000. All right, bet. What's up, y'all? Curious Red Flags, episode 47. How y'all feeling, man? First of all, happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to the fathers out there doing their thing, man. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to, just good dads all over the goddamn world. Episode 47. We here right now. I'm your host, Nick Carthan, man. We 47 episodes strong. We have a special guest that's going to come in. I just want to say once again, happy Father's Day to all of y'all out there, man. If y'all got kids out there and you ain't spoken to them yet, hey, man, make it a point to get in their life. Like I said on my episode with my daughter yesterday, make it a point to get on their life, man. Get in their life, man. Just fix shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't just pop up today and then bounce tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Make sure it's a decision. At any point, you can help with someone's, you know what I'm saying? You can help someone figure out answers. Let them make a decision of what they wanted to do in their life. Help them complete. Don't have them in the dark of being like, was it me that the reason why my dad isn't around? You know what I'm saying? If you ain't shit, show up. And give them the explanation that they deserve. They didn't ask to be. I don't care how old they are, because that can mess up someone's mentals, man. So you go ahead and you go ahead and fix that, man. But happy Father's Day to the good fathers. Shout out to my Twitch followers. Shout out to the Facebook. Shout out to the YouTube. If you're brand new to the show, I see Tim Brown and I see James Jackson. Please subscribe to the channel. Also text 202-949-6719 with your name, and you get an exclusive link to every episode that I do. Every episode that I do, you'll get a link to every episode. You don't miss it, to the morning show and the podcast. We have a special guest about to come in the building. I was just on the phone with him while I was live just now. So he'll be here in a minute, man. Man, 47 episodes, man. Shit.
I'm fighting for my life. Yo, killing me with this.
And I'm happy. I'm happy, man. 47 goddamn episodes, man. Also, let me just put this up on the page, man. For all the fellas out there that has a woman and you're arguing and she says you ain't shit. Well, if you're not shit, at least you can have your pride. At least the one thing she could say about you was your stroke was good. So right now okay, I thought I could pull it up on the screen, but it's not coming up on the screen right now. Thought I could pull it up, but we got the Respect Your Stroke t-shirts out right now. Click the link in my bio and go get yourself a Respect the Stroke t-shirt right now. Respect the Stroke. Make sure, one thing, if she doesn't like you, and she's like, he ain't shit. He don't pay this. He don't pay that. At least when they say, well, shit, could he fuck? They'll be like, well, you know what? I couldn't stand this motherfucker, but he had a hell of a stroke. Get the Respect the Stroke t-shirts, man. Respect the Stroke t-shirts. And to the ladies, I got Respect the Stroke t-shirts for you to wear next to your man. Respect the Stroke t-shirts. And for the ladies that's out there stroking, we got a Respect the Stroke t-shirt out there for y'all. I made it for men and women. All black t-shirts with the gold Respect the Stroke. You go to my Instagram at Nick_Carthan. Click the link in my bio. Go to merchandise. Scroll down and get yourself a Respect the Stroke t-shirt for all those people out there who need their stroke respected, man. Yo, so we gonna get the show started, man. Right now, we got a very special guest about to come in the building, man. I'm very excited to have him to come in, man. Hilarious comedian, has his own platform, has his own show, has an amazing album out right now, man. We gonna bring him in right now. I want you guys to basically put your red flags in the comment section, put your hands together for the one, the only Kraig Smith in the building right now. Kraig Smith in the goddamn building right
What's
now.
up, man? I'm in the trap, man. I'm in the trap right now, waiting on customers, man. What's going on?
What's up, brother? What's going on, man?
Chilling, man. What's good with you, broski?
Hey, man. First of all, I appreciate you making the time to come on the show, bro. Before I even get started, I want to say something. I was excited, but then I was upset about something that had happened. This morning I got a few phone calls, and my friends was like, "Oh, I saw your merch on World Star," and I was like, "Oh," I said, "What did I do?" I was on World Star, and a video a video from your episode made the World Star, but I was upset because whoever sent the video in didn't show how black men handle a situation peacefully on the show. Did you see it?
Yeah. They just showed the part that made it look like, we didn't resolve the issue, and they still try to paint that narrative like we can't get along. And that's not the issue. Men have disagreements and we come to understandings. And they didn't really show the conclusion of it. They're just running with that same narrative that, Kev is not a good guy, which Kev is an awesome guy who owns up to all his mistakes and is just looking for some retribution and understanding in life. Everybody deserves a second chance, third chance, and a fourth chance as long as you're breathing. So if you're around motherfuckers and they make it feel like if you fail, they won't fuck with you. They not really your people. You need to get people away from you that won't allow you to make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're not molesting kids and doing some heinous shit, it should always be retribution if you call that person your friend. And that's what that was an example of, showing that black men can get along. And it just so happened that some of these outlets don't want to show the entirety of the situation. They only want to show what's going to get people watching,
It was sad, bro. Episode 47, man. I'm excited about this episode. I got first of all, man, this guy wears many hats, creative as hell, funny as fuck, has his own podcast. I want to start off with this. One of the lines I like off this album: "You can't be a dime without the rest of the quarter." Is one of my favorite lines off the Chill Withers project. This album is in heavy so for this year, I got 3 albums in rotation, and it's this album, it's the new DMX album, and I still got the Notorious B.I.G. album in rotation. So this album, I got this album in rotation right here. Tell me about the project, bro. What's up? How did you come about Chill Withers?
So Chill Withers, man. When Bill Withers died, who was, to me, he was a dope lyricist. He was a very conscious artist. When he died, there was a few documentaries put out, and I watched those documentaries and saw the parallels between him and I when it came to us not being trustworthy of the industry completely and working a regular job and still trying to maintain ourselves as men and having an apprehension about completely jumping into entertainment because of all of the ill shit that the business brings your way as far as non-ethical shit, you know what I mean? Just all kind of, the industry is just full of traps and pit stops and scammers and hoe ass niggas and racists and just people that don't want you to win. So when Chill Withers first got into the industry, he was an airplane mechanic, and he worked in El Segundo for, I believe it was either Boeing or one of those large aerospace companies. And the record label had to beg him to quit his job after he had a successful record because he wasn't comfortable relinquishing his control over his life to the industry. You know what I'm saying? And we've had similar parallels in that capacity because I've always worked a job and done comedy, and it kind of halted my progression a little bit because I wasn't 100% in, And so that's the first connection that I had with Bill Withers. And then also changing the name to Chill Withers in life. A lot of times we try to keep our cool, but our chill withers away. It withers from us. You know what I'm saying? So this was a comedic satire that shows how someone who was dealing with the bitch of life, not an actual bitch, but the bitch of life, how they can put themselves in situations where their chill can wither, which is what the comedic sketches are about. It's supposed to be me, you know, being in altercations with the woman of life, the bitch of life, and the music is, you know, my comedy is how I is how I deal with life, and my music is how I deal with bitches. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically just meshing those two worlds and showing how your chill could wither if you don't do it correctly. You know what I'm saying? So
My
chill withers is not just a name; it's also like a statement of something happening. Your chill withering away. You know what I'm saying?
my favorite track, well, one of the sketches on the album too, is the one where the son and the girl called the nigga the wrong name.
Yeah.
That was hella that was hella creative. Because the son called you the wrong name, and then when you almost got into it, the son, she called you the wrong name. And what's dope about that is, you know, the reason why I like the album, it kind of reminds me of the TV show that's on right now, the Upshaw's. And a lot of times we don't have people that project real life to people out here. Everybody, if you look at TV right now, if you look at Hollywood, they try to portray black people in a like Bill the Cosby Show. I told someone shit this the other day. Everybody thought the Cosby Show was the perfect family, but when you get old and you watch it, Theo couldn't read, and fucking, but yo, Sandra was dating the loser in the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And fucking Vanessa was an alcoholic. No
Yeah.
one, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But back in the day, they try to paint this show to be the perfect family, but they had issues. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like with the Chill Wither project, when you listen to that album, for anybody right now, go to Apple iTunes, go ahead and or buy or go listen, stream the album and go support this album. It's a dope, it's a funny project. It's funny as hell. One of my favorite tracks is OD in Motion. So I wanted to get that out the way first. Make sure y'all go support Chill Withers. If y'all in here right now, hit the like button, hit the share button. I got Kraig Smith on the show. I told y'all this week I was gonna have him here. Y'all asked for him, and we gonna get into it, bro. You from LA? You're born and raised in California, right?
Yeah, I'm from Pasadena, which is a little different than LA.
A little different than LA. Let me ask you this question. You started comedy out here already. When I first moved out here, from where I come from, I realized when I came to Hollywood that they try to make me change who I was as a person to make myself, how can I say, safe
Yeah.
in the comedic game. That's my view watching it coming out here. Being that you were out here, what were some of the red flags for you, like that you noticed when you started comedy trying to adjust out here?
Man, so one of the first red flags that I noticed is the control that the comedy clubs have over the art form. The fact that people who don't tell jokes and don't really give a fuck about jokes had a say in who was able to get up there and display their talents. You know what I'm saying? And another red flag was how comedians just accepted that as being the way that it was. And I just told myself at some point that once I had a better grasp and command on stage and got to a point where I had, you know, you can't deny me, that I would do things that would establish myself in a way where no one could take my career from me. You know what I'm saying? And I had, you know, and I've been in a few situations where some people have tried, but because I had the right intentions and the right heart, it didn't succeed. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is just being able to say what I want to say and entertain people and make people laugh and make them forget about their problems, but also maintain my artistic integrity, you know? And it's very difficult to do that in this game in the beginning stages, if you depend on comedy clubs and agencies and stuff like that. So my goal became just to be able to, you know what I'm saying, say what I want to say, you know what I'm saying, stick up for, you know, all people who have been oppressed, black people, white people, gay people, whoever's been oppressed, and just say things that'll make them laugh and get past their problems. You know what I'm saying? And go ahead.
No, my fault. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I just noticed the normal comedy structure wasn't about that. Like, even if you look at the type of, like black males or black women that the system picks, is always like a certain type of docile person that ain't really talking about nothing, and it's very non-threatening and very conformist and very liberal. And I just got tired of that, bro. So that's why I got focused on my own podcast. So regular, everyday working people really had somebody that they could support, that really represented their mind and really thought how they thought. You know what I'm saying? And that's my goal, is just to be relatable to everyday people that's just, paying bills and taking care of their family and operating with some level of integrity, So that's what my brand is all about.
When I first moved out here, I met you. I think 2012 through Jade. Right. I met you through Ja, and I got cool with y'all. Was chilling around with y'all, and I kind of would say, like I told Jade, I remember there was like a line, and I know we were on that other side of the line when it came to industry and comedy in Hollywood. But as time went by, we reached over the line in our own different paths. Do you know what one of your turning points was in LA? Like where you said, okay, I see myself making an imprint out here. Like, what was one of your turning points out here?
I think that whole ADD situation with Roast Me was a pivotal thing for me, because at the time, the people who worked at All Def Digital weren't so necessarily ingrained in the normal comedy culture. See, when I first got into comedy, it's a credits based, who business. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't really know nobody in comedy. Here I am, this outsider, this slightly out of shape, retired pro wrestler, body having guy, and I look like a tough guy, but I'm not. I'm just an everyday working nigga that ain't scared of shit. And so here I am showing up in a comedy club at 28 years old with all these 18-year-old skinny, goofy, docile people. And I'm not telling these alt jokes that, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling jokes about the women I've gotten into it with. And I'm just telling, regular man jokes on stage, And there really was no place for me. I didn't have but you remember I came in an era where it was a bunch of dark-skinned, skinny niggas with afros. It was in every fucking commercial. You know what I'm saying? I even remember one time when I met Chris Spencer for one of the first times, who's a legend to me. I came walking in the Laugh Factory because it was a thing to go to Chocolate Sunday every Sunday and just watch and try to get stage time. And I come walking up to the club, and it's me and Jade. And he was like, look at these. These niggas are the linebackers of comedy. You know what I'm saying? And that was an eye-opening thing when he said it, because I was like, damn, that's how these motherfuckers view me. They view me like as a threatening person, and I'm not. I'm not threatening.
Not to cut you off real quick. What's your Cash App, bro?
$ Bullyfoot.
You're the Red Flag mods. Can y'all please put cash $, Bullyfoot in the comment section, man, and make sure y'all show love to my guy. Put the Cash App up in the comment section now. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So what? Man, I got lost in the question. What was it?
You said you was the linebackers. I'm gonna tell you a story about that, but did the linebackers of comedy?
Yeah, they call us the linebackers of comedy, and I was like, damn. I guess that's how these motherfuckers view us, man. It was, people would always say things that symbolize like a threatening disposition. Some comments would say, "Oh, this nigga's a gangster," or Kraig look like he'll beat somebody up," or it was always variations of that, and that's not who I am at all. You know what I'm saying? I just happen to be 250 pounds, 6'2", 6'3". But I'm not. I don't want to fight nobody. I don't want to get physically violent with nobody. I just want to spread love and make people laugh at real life scenarios. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a light-skinned guy. I'm not going to get on stage. My mother's white. My dad's black. Of course, you can see I'm a black. Like, I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm a light-skinned Negro. Deal with it or fuck you.
Listen, you good on time, right?
Yeah, I got a little time.
Okay. So when I first moved out here, I remember I was at this comedian's house and I was sitting down. Came out here probably about 212, about 212 pounds. and there was a comedian sitting next to me. Now, when you around certain people growing up, or like a certain street life or whatever, you could just tell. You're able to tell what's real and what's not. There was a comedian next to me telling me about how many bodies he had under his belt, just openly. I didn't even ask him nothing. He was just like, "Hey man, I got like two bodies back home," and you know, he was telling me about all his fights and shit. And I was laughing because I was like, clearly I'm intimidating this nigga just by sitting here. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that I saw moving to LA is that like a lot of the comedians that move out here, there's an intimidation factor where they used to just people smiling all the time. Because you're a comic, they feel like we're supposed to joke and laugh all day. And if we look how we're looking right now, we are what classified as threats, or you might get asked by a comic to go with you to shows for protection, and you don't even know it. I was chilling with a comedian that I figured out that this nigga was bringing me around as a bouncer. He wasn't even. He wasn't. Because look, when he was doing all the Hollywood shows, he never called me. But when he was doing shit on the other side of Wilshire or shit down by Florence, and he would hit me up, and it would be like a hood spots. And I was like, "Oh, this nigga thinks I'm a bouncer." Were you ever were you ever called on to go to shit like that, where you was like a line of protection?
Not necessarily that, but I've seen it in the industry because the first comic that I really hung with tough was probably Jade.
Yeah.
That nigga way bigger than me, so if I'm around, it look like he the protection. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm trying to think like. I mean, because what we're really talking about is, perception on how people perceive you in a certain way.
Yeah.
And how you have to deal with their insecurity. So one responsibility we do have as men, if you a stand-up guy, you notice that your presence does cause someone to be insecure, and you notice it. I think we're supposed to try to ease those insecurities and let those people know that it'll be okay, I guess.
Yeah.
But what people don't acknowledge is that shit. Big niggas got insecurities too. What if I'm insecure that you're small? And I'm, you know what I'm saying? And your smallness is making me insecure. Like, why don't you have to appease me for that? Why is being a bigger guy such a responsibility? And I had to accept that there's nothing I could do about that and just really do what you do and create enough content that is a reflection of your character as a man. So when people put bullshit narratives into the air, there's enough for you to go around where people can correct them. Like, nah, that ain't the type of person Kraig is. That's you projecting. You know what I'm saying? And that's really all we could do to combat all the whole behavior is just to continue to produce content so our content speaks for ourselves, speaks for itself.
It's make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all share the live. Make sure we have Kraig Smith in the building. I want to be honest with you, and because there's a lot of fans in here that don't know this. So I want to give the history of how I know the history of how the faces of All Def went down. And a lot of people don't know this because they're brand new. So when All Def first started, All Def Digital had Russell Simmons, and there was Sidney Castillo. He had a show called The Green Room up there, and they just had a bunch of random sketches that was going on. They put out a controversial sketch, the Harriet Tubman sketch, and that sketch caught a lot of backlash. So what they did was they started to go along and get other content creators. The second content creator that they had that was overlooking content was, for what my understanding was, Jay Snow. And Jay Snow was up there, and Jay Snow had his run with Cynthia Lucette, and they put out a bunch of projects. They put out the World Star, a big World Star sketch. The third person that came on as in replace of Jay Snow was Kev. And when Kev came in, the faces of there was a lot of faces that changed. One of the faces was Kieran. King Kieran was one of the faces of All Def, and he had his run when he was up there. As his run went out,
hey, how are you?
Or when he left, the new faces of All Def Digital were Doughboy. There was Teddy Ray, Doughboy versus Teddy Ray. There was Kraig. There was the Billy Sorrells. There was the John C's and Kanishas. If I'm going correctly with this, and I remember on Roast Me, you were, bro. There is a online. There is a compilation of Kraig Smith roast that's on there. Like, you basically became one of the franchise players of that channel. And I remember you was on not Dad Jokes, Bad News. Kraig, like, you were literally, people were watching Roast Me for you. Did you know that you were a face of, were you aware that you were one of the faces of ADD at the time?
Not really, bro. See,
Or people see, that's the thing. No one was given, and that's what I kind of hate about our craft in the game, because you didn't know this. I remember I made a joke with you one time. We was at LA, was at 24 Hour Fitness, and I was like, yo, you the roast master. And you was like, nah, I'm a comedian. But I wasn't coming at you like that. I'm basically saying, like, I don't think he knows his presence online. Like, you had became the face, one of the top 5 faces of All Dev Digital. So yeah, go ahead. But you said you didn't know.
yeah, it kind of just happened organically through the fans, which I appreciate them for that, and I appreciate, All Def for that opportunity at that particular point. But when I was brought into the fold, it wasn't to make me shine or make me a star. It was just to, create a piece of content with a bunch of other comedians. So it kind of just took like its own life, you know what I'm saying? And people started to appreciate what I do. And I appreciate them for appreciating me. And that's why I ain't never going to stop, because All Def gave me an opportunity to know that my brand is global and that there are people who understand a comedic weirdo. You know what I'm saying? I just like to have fun creatively. I enjoy linguistics. I enjoy words. I'm a reader. I'm a very intellectual guy. I'm the only guy that reads a lot that doesn't spell well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a walking hypocrisy. But anyway, it took a life of its own, man. And I started walking places, and every day. There's not a day go by where somebody don't recognize me and wants a picture or something like that. So I'm very appreciative of what Roast Me did, man, because it let me know that, I was doing a comedy a decade before I really got a real opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And it just let me know that there's a market for what I do, which is why I'm never going to stop speaking for the average everyday man that has funny thoughts in his head. Because I was just that truck driving, construction dude, ex-athlete who would be at work bagging on people and thinking funny shit, that decided to do comedy. I know there's a million people out there like me who always think in the back of their head, I wonder if I could be a comedian. Well, I'm letting you know it's possible, because I didn't grow up wanting to be a comic. I wasn't watching all the comic views, and I watched Def Comedy Jam as a kid, but I wasn't watching all the comic views. I didn't know all the comedians' names. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't me. I'm an ex-basketball player, college athlete who got injured twice, had to start working a regular job, and just loved to laugh. And I decided to become a comedian at 28. You know what I'm saying? So, and it worked out for me. So if it could work out for me, it could work out for you.
It is crazy, because I will say that I'm going to ask you this question. I don't know if you remember, you had said, when you talk about truck driving, I'm one of the comedians that know that you was working. You was working a job that kind of took a lot of your time, because I remember that you had to travel back. You was doing the truck driving, and I remember you had sent me a picture where it was the last day of work, basically. You know what I'm saying? You sent me the accident. You had sent me the accident.
Oh yeah, when I flipped over on the freeway.
Yeah, you showed me that, and I was like, "You survived that?" I was like, "You had the truck flipped over the freeway," and then next thing you know, I saw your rise. Or who opened the door for you to come to ADD? Because but before you answer that, I feel like it had to be a real nigga.
Teddy Ray.
Huh?
Teddy Ray.
There you go. And I figured it had to be a real nigga that lets you in there, because Kraig's comedy's always been around. I could honestly tell you that when I met Kraig and Jade, I remember one time I was arguing with Jade. We was face to face, and I thought this nigga was going to kick me out of a window. But I just stood my ground arguing with Jade. But I used to be around these two, and I know being around them, other comics would look at it like, that didn't know you guys would be like, are they cool? You know, especially I would be like, yeah, they regular people. They're they're regular, you know what I'm saying? Don't let the size, but they regular niggas. So when I seen you get into the doors of ADD, it was dope. You had a very long run, hilarious as hell. And then I watched you switched over to 5150. How was that transition going into the 5150 show?
Oh man, first of all, Corey Holcomb is a legendary comedian, bro. And he's somebody that I have an affinity for, man. He can call me to go shoot a motherfucker. I'm gonna do it because that's how much I love Corey. But Corey is a teacher. And the way Corey teaches is through his actions. So I met Corey in front of the Improv, just bagging and roasting how we do. And he just always showed love to me and Jade, and was the first person that I met in the industry who made me confident in the fact that, oh, okay, so regular everyday motherfuckers can make it in this industry. You don't have to be no, model, out of pocket, well, not out of pocket, but out of touch with your community type person, and you can make a living in this industry. You don't have to denounce being black or, you know what I'm saying, act like you're non-threatening. If you just become good at your craft, that there's an audience that will pay to see you, and that's what I learned from Corey. And it's just been a great experience that he would allow me to just sit around and watch how he does what he does and teach me through his actions. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that if you really know Corey Holcomb, you know Corey Holcomb is a businessman. He ain't just a comedian. You know what I'm saying? He's not only successful as a stand-up, but he has a very successful merch company. He's probably the best at the whole merch thing with selling different types of T-shirts. He's a master marketer. You know what I'm saying? And he's a technician with the pen.
Yeah.
So just seeing how he was able to put it together and just being around, because he never grabbed me and said, do this or do that. I would ask questions, but when a man allows you in a space that doesn't have to, if you're another man and a man allows you in a space to watch him work, that's one of the biggest blessings you could possibly get, because it allows you to see that this shit is real. Like your dream and where you're going is real, but this is how you make it real, through the action. And that's what I learned from Corey. And that's why he'll, always be one of the greatest comedians ever, in my opinion, and somebody that's more like a big brother or uncle to me. Like, he's just a good, solid, all around guy, So 5150 taught me the work that goes into being a successful comedian outside of just being dope and funny. There's other work that comes into play that a lot of comedians aren't willing to do, because they have a princess mentality where they're looking for this comedy game to come sweep them off their feet and make them a star. That happens to certain people. It happened to Gerard Carmichael, a dope comedian. He kind of got swept off his feet by the game and turned into a star, but he has star quality already. So there are some people that happens for, but 99.99% of us, you're going to have to put that work in and be strategic and really make those moves count. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I learned from Corey, is how the type of moves to make and why you make them and all that. So shout out to Corey Holcomb.
One of the smartest things I saw you do, a lot of comedians don't do this, but when you're on certain platforms or you get the opportunity to be around certain big name comedians, they shouldn't have to tell you, but they put you in the position to learn so that you can jump off the boat at a certain point in your career. I watched you do that. I watched you do that slowly but surely and build yourself into a monster of what you are now, because there's a lot of people like, look, man, there's a lot of people that left All Def Digital and kind of feel away about All Def Digital because they're stranded, because they're like, one of the biggest complaints is I left I left millions of subscribers on the table. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
That's not All Def Digital's fault. All Def Digital's fault is to give you a platform to promote yourself, honestly. And if you have there's comedians who've been on the road, have had the opportunity to be around comedians their whole life, and are still kind of stuck chasing their same carrot because they don't know. So you basically, you started a podcast And I'd say I watched it from the beginning during the quarantine, and it grew. It definitely grew, and you have a hell of a fan base. When did you know to yourself, like, hey, let me start putting this shit together? Because like you can scream squad your whole life, but you gotta understand that's business. You know what I'm saying? When people scream squad, that was a business. At any time, that squad will fire you. So what made you say, let me start putting together my machine?
Okay, so what made me really want to do it is when I was inside of All Def, they had something called the squad, and I started to pay attention to how the squad moved. And basically, what I noticed was the squad was using All Def and the visibility to build their own personal platforms to make them as individuals bigger. You know what I'm saying? And I
I did it.
respected that move. I'm like, that's a really smart move. It kind of reminded me of the Dipset move that Cameron did when he was signed to Koch Records as Dipset, but he was as an individual artist signed to Def Jam, and he used those Def Jam, that Def Jam marketing money to push Dipset, because on Koch they was getting $7 a record, but on Def Jam they was getting 10 cents a record. But Def Jam was spending millions of dollars to promote Cameron, so he used the millions of dollars of promotion that they were using to promote Cameron to promote Dipset by yelling Dipset on every song on his album. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, that's one of the most brilliant moves that's ever been done in hip hop. Shout out to Cameron for being a fucking genius.
Shout out
So
to
then
Cam.
I seen that move being made at All Def, and I was like, okay, but I didn't necessarily get to take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I was learning social media while I was there, and I was just showing up because of the art, because of the culture. Even if you look at when I won Roaster of the Year, I was about the culture. I was giving props to Def Jam and Russell Simmons when I won the award. I was thinking more about the culture, not really being focused on the individual gain that I could get from my social media. So I didn't really catch win completely until it was really too late to completely benefit from All Def on a personal level. You know what I'm saying? As far as my own personal social media. So anyway, I paid attention to those moves. One day it clicked, and I was like, bro, I gotta get out here and start pushing my own agenda in some way, because the stronger my fan base is, the less I have to conform to what they think I should do. You know? And so the thing that really made it click is when Jade blew up, because Jade is like a brother to me. He's not a friend, he's like a brother. And Jade got it out the mud. He got it from nothing. He was a starving artist at some point, but he was always about the craft of making films. He's a filmmaker. And when the sketch stuff picked up for him, he stepped into the sketch world and he applied his knowledge of film and became, to me, the greatest sketch comedy creator of all time. You know what I'm saying? Because he understands film. But I saw him go from not being relevant to being the most relevant person, or one of the most relevant urban creators, you know, in the sketch comedy world. And that, to see his growth is what gave me a belief that, okay, it can happen, because this is somebody that I know was cut from my pedigree and I know was cut from my cloth, and he's very successful at this. So this is something that is real. It's not imaginary, or I'm not chasing a dream. Like, if I create, it will happen. And I was just blessed to be in the trenches with somebody before it happened. So now I know you can make it through this social media shit. It ain't no guess. Like, I know. You know what I'm saying? And it was a guess before, but now I know. So that's what made me go harder for myself.
Jade, I had Jade on here a couple of episodes ago. I remember the conversation Jade had with me, because a lot of people don't know this. Like I said, you know, a lot of the fans that watch us, and I always try to, first of all, hit the like button. Y'all make sure y'all share this and make sure I hit the like button. A lot of the fans that watch us, man, got to know us during the quarantine, or got to know us, you know, heavily through there. They don't understand that us as comedians, we actually go to the club and we see each other. So sometimes when you guys see personal beefs and confrontations that go on, understand that we see each other in the comedy clubs, in the green rooms, and we talk. We all came up. And here, I've been out here for I've known Kraig since 2012. I've been out here for 11 years. I've been out here for 11 years. So I know y'all, I know you guys, you know what I'm saying? And Jade, I remember Jade was, you know, and it's not a diss to him because I told him this shit, which is funny. Jade was a cameraman. Jade was a cameraman, but he was a comedian. But comedians were calling Jade to film their sketches. And I remember Jade telling me one day, this is out of his mouth, he said, yo, because Jade's not the type of nigga that could watch a movie without just watching the movie and not being what type of lens was used and all types of shit. Like, we used to get in arguments like, nigga, listen to me, just watch the fucking movie. But Jade, he had an eye. So he told me, he said, yo, if I ever start putting out my own shit, it's going to be big. Same thing with you. I ain't gonna lie, I'll tell you right on here, back in the day when I met you, you used to tell me about a lot of ideas, but I was fresh because I was coming to LA trying to like just be a comedian. So some of the shit you used to tell me, I used to be like, this guy, like, and I'm being honest, because we men, I used to be like, some of this shit is weird because this nigga's talking about creating a fortress and shit and owning shit. Like, this is shit that you tell me. This is back in 2012, 13. You used to be like, yo, I want to create a comedy series. I want to create my own Def Jam series. I want to create my own shit. And I used to like, you know, not in my mind was like, that's some risky shit. So I look 8 years later, right now where we at, 20 years later, Jade is one of the biggest entities on social media. And then you have one of the most popular podcasts on the internet. And that's because the both of y'all believed in the shit that, you know, what you guys stood for. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, when I saw you the other day at your show, I had to tell you. I was like, you know what? People don't tell each other enough. But, bro, you are now, your platform that you have, it's a, do you consider it a podcast or you consider it a talk show?
I mean, I guess it would be like a little bit of everything, you know what I'm saying? Because I have a sitcom I play on there. I got music. I just use it to display all the stuff that I create. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it would be like a talk show podcast or, you know, but not just a podcast. It's more than that. You know what I'm saying?
It's more than that because that's one of my goals. This is episode 47. I want to be a talk show host and a radio show. So that is one of my main goals outside of the comedy. So I watch people who are doing the same thing as mine. So I can honestly say when I watch your show, I'm like, yo, this is dope. And then I was there and I watched you. You're like a quarterback. So this is what I told someone. I said, Kraig is like a quarterback with linemen. And he's setting up plays because it's a lot of people in there. And a lot of people will look at it like, I don't know, not too many people could do what you do. And that is quarterback the podcast that you have. Because there's you, there's three niggas here, and there's a safety. It's like a football squad. And in the back, you got people back there, and it runs smoothly. And it's real niggas up there. It's real niggas. You know, and you get to the point, and one of the things I want to applaud you for is you came, not going to it too much, but you came to the defense of Black women. You came to the defense of Black women. You came to the defense of two hilarious Black women, and you stood your ground, and you got their word to be heard. You know, because at the end of the day, whether it's right or wrong, you need to have a voice to be heard. And I feel like for our class, we don't have that. Right. And you became that for the people of our class. This so that voice can be heard. You know what I'm saying? So do you know? Of course. Do you know your platform is that? Or are you aware of that? Or
well, it wasn't really necessarily intended to be that at first. It kind of evolved into that. Literally, bro, when I stood up for Precious, is because Precious is my friend.
Yeah.
Camara is my friend. Like, we're comedy comrades. This is a brother and a sisterhood, just like being an NBA player or a WNBA player would be. These are like people who I've seen in the trenches as long as I've been seeing you in the trenches. And these are two blessed individuals when it comes to their abilities comedically. They're not average in any way. You know what I'm saying? And so when I stood up, it was very interesting to me how people were trying to change the narrative. I even think that people hired a company to have bots post on my page in defense of Kev, who I ain't got no issue with Kev. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of intricacies that go on behind closed doors that a lot of you people would never know. So I had to realize in hindsight that they're not privy to some of the information I'm privy to. So I understand why some people feel the way they feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Why they may feel like I was hating, or why they feel like I had a previous issue with Kev. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the issue may be. So long story short, I stood up for my homegirls because I had experienced something very similar when it came to, I felt like, being bullied out of something because you weren't necessarily like the others. I felt like they were being alienated, you know, and that's why I stood in initially. You know what I'm saying? It's just to make sure that my comedy comrades weren't being bullied or taken advantage of. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. And that's the basis of it in its entirety. And if you don't believe that, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. And if I've lost any opportunities for standing up for my friends, fuck you and fuck that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I don't have any malice in my heart for nobody. I want everybody to win. But what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And if something is wrong that I thought was right, I apologize for that. But you're not going to make me back down and feel like I'm doing something that is wrong because you're not able to directly benefit from it. You got to stand up as a man in every situation and as a woman, and you got to defend your friends sometimes, right or wrong.
No, you're right.
So in that situation, I just defended who I had love for. And whoever was on the other side defended who they had love for and drew a line in the sand. But what you don't understand is I don't have no personal beefs. If I had a beef with anybody, I wouldn't put it online. I come see you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I operate. If I'm talking about it online, it's because that's how the rules of this engagement were established. It ain't because I'm trying to clout chase or none of that other goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's strictly, this is how it was established. This situation was established in a scenario where a video was dropped, and there needed to be videos dropped in response to that nullified any thoughts that video was correct. And that wasn't done when I stepped in. And after I stepped in, there was a video created that let me know, nah, I didn't have nothing to do with that. And I respect the man for doing that. You feel what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you in my heart what I believe has happened with all of us. Like I said, I met you 2012. I met some of them dudes in 2012. What happens in this game, to me personally, for what I see, and this is from separating this internet, is mentally, and you touched on this on your show. You touched on mental health and how phasing someone out, quote from your show that showed how great your knowledge is, can be as harmful as a bullet wound or a knife. See, I told you I watch your shit, nigga. I watch your shit. And this is why, to connect on that, I'm gonna keep you for like 10 more minutes now, because I know you're standing up and I appreciate you for 10 more minutes. You good?
I'm good, yeah.
All right. This is why I reached out to you for the people on here, because Kraig, and like I said, me and Kraig are cool. And I had felt like, I said, man, I wonder if you don't pay attention to these things. As time goes by and you're making money, you're making moves, and you're doing certain things, and then one day you think of someone and you hit them up and they might not respond, and you're not thinking in your mind that they're busy. You think that they're not fucking with you anymore. So in my mind, I said, damn. I remember speaking to Jade. I said, you know, is Kraig good? And I said, he was like, yeah, you can call that man. I said, let me call him. And I hit you up, and we had a conversation and found out it was not, it was just busy. So, but both of us we grew up through families that taught us that that's how men are supposed to conduct conversations. It's as simple as a fucking phone call. So what happens is, in this comedy community, a lot of people are raised differently. They're raised differently. They don't know that it's okay to make a phone call. It's okay to get in that square and scrap with someone and catch a couple of catch a knot or two. You know what I'm saying? I was always taught you square up with someone, the first person that fall fights over, but at the end of the day, even the person that has the victory still respects the person that took the fade that's on the floor. At the end of the day, it was like, all right, he stood up for his. But even if it doesn't have to go to that situation, it's still a phone call. A couple of fuck yous, a couple of this, a couple of that can go down. So going to not run around too much with it, going into the comedy situation is a lot of this could have been handled through let's just meet each other. Let's talk. Let's have a one-on-one. And what happens is we forget that part of our reality, and we turn to this shit. We turn to the internet,
Right.
and we and we do what's the word called? We do we throw smoke signals, and we try to elude from the situation and everything that's going on. And it's like I said, it could have been handled. We know each other. We're in the green rooms. We talk to each other. We're all at the end of the day. I wanted people to know that's on here. All of us are friends at the end of the day. So no matter how many blogs you put up, and because I don't know if you know that, but a lot of these fans put up blogs and shit, and they blog about us, and they try to. I be laughing because they try to figure out the beef that's going on. But while you guys are putting these blogs up and getting 1.5K views, we are talking to each other. The streets are open. Comedy's back. We're gonna all see each other. A picture's gonna be posted sooner than later. Right. I know this for a fact. Yeah. I know these guys are our friends. We're cool. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think about what I just said?
No, I think it's completely correct. Where a lot of us are associates and friends, and it's completely correct. It's just what you have to understand is this entertainment shit is like a bullshit game of Game of Thrones. Everybody is lobbying for control or to be the point of something that is directly connected to financial viability. And you have some people in this industry who are willing to do anything it takes to be the person that's in charge, including compromise their integrity, including do things that they wouldn't normally do just to try to be famous.
Yep.
And then you have people who aren't willing to compromise so much, and all these people are put into a fucking pot and stirred up and forced to deal with each other. And a lot of times you get conflict because you have some people who are doing things that are immoral and they feel it is just business, or the big guy consuming the little guy because I built my name and I'm on this level and you ain't doing shit, so fuck it, I'm gonna take shit from you anyway. You got that mentality. And then you got some people who are stomped down and honest, good people and don't care about politics and don't care about crowds and groups of people agreeing with them. So you got all these different, this gumbo of different perceptions. And a lot of times the fans are going to gravitate towards the person who they think perceives things the way they perceive it. They're not going to necessarily go to what's right because they trust the perception of whoever it is they identify with. And I respect that, you know what I'm saying? But just remember, you motherfuckers is on the outside looking in. You don't know the intricacies of what we go through and who's done what and why what was done and why you only see certain people on certain channels doing certain shit and why you only see certain people on other channels doing certain shit. It's a lot of politics that come into play. You know what I'm saying? So give people the benefit of the doubt. Don't think because you may be a churchy person and I say fuck you sometimes and I'm not churchy, that I don't have love in my heart for you and what you go through, because I'm a man like you a man and I bleed like you bleed. This shit ain't about judgment. This shit is really about acceptance, being willing to look at somebody else and accept them and show them the same love that you want reciprocated to you in situations where you may feel like unjust things have been done to you. You know what I'm saying? So I went off on a tangent, nigga. But
no, you good. Listen, in closing, I'm gonna say this. One more thing that I wanted to bring up, touching on that, is you did something on your show that a lot of people that I want to give you your respect for, because it goes to show when you're an artist, you have to take risk, because people don't know everyone has a story. There are two sides to every story. You know, not saying you believe every story. Like I give an example, when the Tory and Meg Thee Stallion shit went down, I didn't take sides on any side because I felt like those are humans. I wasn't there. I gotta just wait till the verdict or whatever comes out. You brought a man on your show who has been painted, from my understanding, in a bad way. And what you did was, a lot of people in this industry will not take the risk of, they'll rather let the narrative ride. That's something that I noticed at this industry, that people will let the narrative ride on, especially on black men, you know, on black people, period. They'll let the narrative ride on someone without hearing it. And you brought an artist on your show, you brought an artist on your show, and you gave him a platform to be able to let the people, me listen. First of all, I want to say I met the man before the show started, and dope as cool as hell, laid back, spoke to him, respectful, had a conversation when the show started. The questions you asked him, not only did he drop gems, but he was also transparent in letting us know what he's going through. Let us know he's a father, what he's going through, and he was honest about things. What made you say, on my platform, I'm gonna give him that piece to be able to speak and talk his part?
Man, just because, you know, being black is not a perfect experience. You know what I'm saying? If you're not a child molester or, you know, something like that, I can forgive you for whatever it is that you've done. I feel like everybody should have a voice, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, a lot of times when we step into this society, as black people, some of us forget that we're black. You know, in the hood or wherever you grow up from, you got alcoholics, you got heroin addicts, you got crackheads, you got people who live a lifestyle that may not necessarily be similar to yours. But where I come from, yeah, you may be a crackhead, or alcoholic, or whatever it is that you do that everybody doesn't agree with. But we don't judge you for that. You just do what you do, and when you come around me, you be square.
Yeah.
But where I'm from, we don't tell it. We don't stop hanging. Like I've never in my life told people that they shouldn't hang around with somebody because I have a disagreement with somebody, or hang around with somebody because I don't like what they do. That ain't what we do as a people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I see that being done to somebody, it just irks me, because I know that there's a lot of good people that are misunderstood. So I want my platform to be an open and honest place where people can come in and really talk about their lives and joke and have fun, and allow people to learn from what they've went through, and help them work through shit, as opposed to judging people and shunning them and kicking them away because of the advertisement money. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
whatever it is that, you know, whatever the reason is that some of these bigger entities don't fuck with people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be that. I'm a people person. You know what I'm saying? I'm a people. I'm for the people, man. So, um, I want every voice to be heard. And if you a scumbag type of motherfucker that don't deserve no respect, and I figure that out about you, you know, I'm definitely gonna give you what you got coming. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna think you a loser, nobody, dumbass motherfucker, because everybody else is saying that about you. Like, that ain't how I get down, bro. How we build is how we build, and I make my decisions after I have the right information. And so I feel like people didn't have the right information on Kev, so I just opened that up so he could speak his mind and speak his heart, so people could know he's just a good man that's been through a lot, and you know, he's not denying any of the stuff that he's done, but he's just adding context to it so you can know what really happened. Because look, just like there's abusive women, there's a men in this world, there's abusive women. And there's a difference between hitting a woman and hitting a woman back. Self-defense is different than abuse. It's not okay for a woman, because she's the weaker physical being in the species, to haul off and punch a man in the face repeatedly, or put her hands on a man. That's not right. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But if you hit me and I hit you back, self-defense is different than domestic violence, and that line needs to be clearly drawn in the sand, because there are women who have killed their husbands and murdered their husbands, just like there's men who've done that to women. This isn't a gender thing. This is a person thing, and this is a person doing the right or wrong thing issue. So, that issue with domestic violence and stuff is something that I don't like men that hit women, but we have to get all the information. It can't just always be our fault. You know what I'm saying? We got to know everything, not just the part that demonizes, black men or black women. We need to start telling the whole story, not the story that feeds into the narrative. And that's why I let my boy on the show so he could.
I'm glad you touched on that because, like I said, it is an agenda now where the bully have become the bully, become the bullies. And what I mean by that is, listen, I don't have any problem with what any race or whatever sexual preference you're into. That's on you. But now they have made it to where it is not. I don't even believe it's the people. It's these people. I believe it's groups with agendas because I have gay friends who can take a joke, and they know gay friends that can take a joke, and they laugh and they play and this. But there's these groups now that are formed that are now bullying people to get across the things that they want, and you look at it, like on men, how they are affecting men right now. They won't even let you speak your piece to tell what's going on. They'll automatically classify you, strip your humanity away, and classify you as a monster. And there's no way, and they'll make sure you can't get anywhere to talk about it. So the fact that someone can go to your show and speak their piece in peace, I think is 100% dope. So, hey man, I wanted to bring you on here because I know you're busy, and I wanted to give you your flowers, man. As a first of all, you're my friend, so I know you. But to see you work, to see how far as you came, and like I said, the album is, for me, it's dope. It's in my rotation, so make sure you guys go support Chill Withers, because when I heard you had an album, I know you told me you rap, but I had never heard any of your music.
Yeah.
So I bought the album on just saying, let me just put it on. And I had to go pick up my daughter and driving. And from track 1 to 8, I didn't skip a track. It was if anyone had the opportunity of hanging around Kraig and you listen to this album, you're gonna love the album because it's 100% who you are on the album. It is funny, and you put your comedy in there. And I like what you've done, man. And what do you have next? What do you have coming up? What do you have next? And where can the people find you?
Find me at thekraigsmith.com. Check out the YouTube, The Kraig Smith. Check out the Facebook fan page, The Kraig Smith. It's pretty much that on everything. Got some tour dates coming up. I'm gonna drop soon. Be telling jokes all over the country very soon, man. Just appreciate that support, man. I love y'all. If I owe you something, you can get it from God. God.
Peace, bro.
Peace, man. I'll holler at you later. Yeah.
Definitely, man. Hey, y'all. That was Kraig Smith. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to give you guys about 30 more minutes. So if you guys are down to stay, let me know. Put the red flags because I want to give my final word on some things. But first of all, shout out to Kraig Smith. Shout out to Zori for hitting the Cash App, man. Thank you so much. Kenny, your lazy ass, I ain't bother you the whole show. Are people hitting the like button? Are they liking the episode? Are they sharing it, Kenny? Because Kenny, I'm about to make your son work for me because I don't like how you've been going down, man. So let me look right now. Okay, we got okay, Kenny, you've been working. So we about to continue to go on, man. I want to get some closing words on this situation of just life in general, of just life in general. I touched on it a little bit yesterday, but I want to touch on it again on this podcast. At the end of the day, we all human, we all men, we all women, different race, color, all this stuff. You know what I mean? We all have hearts, We all have different personalities, you know, but the one thing we all have that's connected to everyone is we have a soul, and we are human. So I say that to say, you know, like I said on the Curious Red Flag podcast, I know a lot of times I'm funny, and I do my jokes, and I like ha ha, and I he, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm naturally a funny guy, but sometimes, you know, we have serious episodes. This was an episode that I felt like he needed to be on here. Beto Boost. Make sure you follow me on Twitch, man, and make sure you text 202-949-6719. You know, a lot of times mentally, you know, there are people out there who are going through something. There are people out there that are going through something. And like Kraig said, unless you've done something that is heinous or demonizing, or you're hurting someone, or that's just, you know, that's just wrong. Outside of that realm, the person is a human. So you might have people in your life who you don't know right now that's going through something. Make sure you guys, because I'm about to talk about some serious shit right now. So I want you guys share this live, share this to a friend, because you don't know anyone that might be going through this. And I want to talk about this right now. You never know what someone is going through. You never know if someone is mentally going through something that's affecting how he is looking at the outlook of the world. Or he or she might feel like she doesn't have support as a person, you know what I'm saying? Or he or she might feel like that, you know, they don't have nowhere to go. I know people, because I've been there before. I know people who financially are so messed up. When you see people and you be like, man, whatever happened to that person pride, or the people that he's around may have made him feel like, he or she feel like they cannot reach out and say, hey, I'm going through it. I need help. I need support. I need you. I fucking need you. Some people you never know who's going through something that might need that phone call. That's like, hey, they might need to hear you say, I love you. I love you and I'm here for you. You just never know. So mentally, what that does is it causes someone to put themselves in a cocoon that's wrapped away from reality. And now they're dealing with pain on their own. A lot of you guys that's watching this show right now know someone. Now, I'm not saying just call random people that you don't know. I'm talking about someone that you personally love. I remember when I was in my downs and outs, I had my family, and I had a few friends. Not a lot, but a few friends. That was enough that were able to let me know that they were there. They were able to help me piece things together, because the mind, the conscious of the mind, can be taken apart by society, and you don't even know this. You don't even know this. Like, okay, for example, if you guys brain dead, right? Someone that's brain dead, they let you know sometimes the back of the brain, there are stems that connect to the brain, and sometimes these stems disconnect from the brain. It causes someone to go brain dead, or where the brain is no longer functioning. Well, I'm going to tell you something that goes a little further, that in life, sometimes you got to remember there are stems of friendship and support systems that connect to a person's soul. And when them support systems start to fall in a person, and I'm not saying that a person doesn't cause these stems to break. I'm going to get to that person. But what happens is when the stems start to disconnect of support from someone, what eventually happens is that person feels like they are alone. And this is where the thoughts come in their head. Well, let me, the world no longer wants me here. Let me take the pills, or let me drink, or let me do these things, harmful things to my body, because no one else cares. So they start to reach out to vices that they feel like that they're replaced with friends and family, which would be a lot of alcohol, or be drugs, or be harming themselves. And what happens is when they're no longer here, we then tend to be like, rest in peace, and oh, I feel bad, and this, that, and the other. But where were you as that stem? Now that goes to the people who are anyone that's going through these situations right now in their life. The best thing to do, like I said in the beginning of this episode, was reach out and apologize. Talk to people. Reach out. As a man or a woman, there's nothing wrong with you reaching out and apologizing to people and reconnecting these stems. It might take a while for these stems to get put together, but go out there, reach out, and tell someone, I'm sorry, I love you, and you know, and I listen. They may not accept your apology, but at least your soul and your mind can rest knowing that you reached out. Because anyone of human life will eventually forgive. One of my favorite scenes in the movie, even though I clown, like I said, this is a serious episode. One of my favorite scenes in the movie was Best Man Holiday, right? Because if y'all remember, Tay Diggs was digging out Morris Chestnut's wife in part one. And, you know, at the end of part two, they just mended things for the wedding to go on. But as as time had went by, Morris Chestnut, as you can see, had not been in connection with Tay Diggs for years. So when they finally invited him to a party, Morris Chestnut really didn't want Tay Diggs there. More of the story was Morris Chestnut's wife in that movie was dying. And what he did was his wife noticed that when she would pass away, her husband wasn't going to be able to handle it. And this is why she invited Tay Diggs to that holiday party, because she knew her time was going, but she had to reconnect that stem between Morris Chestnut and Tay Diggs. And as you see, when she passed away, yeah, it hurt him, but he was able to keep his sanity because he had his friends there, and his friends were able to connect with him, and he was able to cry on them. And as time went by, you know, he learned to forgive his friend. So all I'm saying is, you have to be able to do these things. You have to be able to reach out or just be a human person and say, hey, man, I fucked up. Because listen, man, hey, I know sometimes
I'm fighting for my life. Yo, killing me with this.
I got people in life. I start to categorize who's in my life and who's not. You know what I'm saying? Categorize who's in my life and who's not. I cut off those. My process is to cut off those that are not going to help me get to the next level, or who are dragging me down and taking my energy away. I'll cut those people off. You know, I too will say, when I moved to LA, there's a lot of friends back home that I don't speak to as much, but that's because our goals were different. But I can reach out. We can reach out to each other and speak to each other at any time. You know, you don't want to waste your energy on people who generally don't give a fuck about you. Like, how many of y'all got friends who are around you who just generally don't give a fuck about what you're doing? They're angry at every move that you make. They're angry at every move that you make. They're angry at every position that you have in life. You can call someone and tell someone you got an opportunity, and their response is, how did you get that? Instead of just saying congratulations or patting a motherfucker on the back. You got people who are angry, or who you're married to, your wife or your husband. You got people that are envious of what you have, or your family. There are people out there who are generally watching you right now succeed, and are angry and are upset and wish the worst on everything. And what happens is, if your lens isn't wide enough to see that, you will gain access to these people, become friends with them, and you will not notice that they're sucking the fucking life out of you at all times. You know, I have a friend I grew up with. and we met after a year of not talking and seeing each other, and it was like we talked yesterday. It's the that's what I'm talking about. Like, those are the things that is part of that's great, but you have to also, to those people that the purpose to the description of what I just gave of people that suck the life out of you, to you motherfuckers that do that shit, that lay around and suck the fucking life out of people, you guys are hurting. And don't take it out on someone that's succeeding. Watch these motherfuckers, man. Watch them. Ask questions. It's nothing wrong with that. That's why you have OGs and shit like that, to kind of explain to you how these moves are being made. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't sit there and just be angry. A motherfucker will wake up in the morning. Somebody will wake up in the morning and have your dick in their mouth as soon as they wake up. They won't even eat breakfast yet. Eat breakfast first before you hate on someone. I know people that will hate on you before they order their breakfast. And that's bad. That person is mentally ill. Because that person is how they grew up and the things that they're around. And because they feel like they're a failure, they want to see you fail as well. And like I said, you got to be able to identify that these people are like that. You got to be able to identify, because those people will mentally fuck you up as well, because they're not sitting here. They're not sitting here and shout out to Germany, man. Beto Boost, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube as well if you can. But yeah, those people who are sitting here, they will fuck up your mentality, because the best thing that could make someone's mind feel rich is someone telling you congratulations. Do you know how good the word congratulations feels? Coming from someone, to hear the word congratulations, to hear thank you, Kenny, for your Cash App donation, man. I appreciate you guys. Let me say this real quick before I continue. Shout out to everyone hit me with the Father's Day Cash App donations. Thank you guys so much. To the people that are there are people who, I have a homegirl. Matter of fact, I'm talking about me. Red flag. Because this is what this show is about. Red flag. I have a friend. I had a friend who, in 1 year of my life, I felt like I wasn't shit, because everything I did, I was told that it was stupid. Every idea, every move that I made, I was told it was stupid. I was told that it wouldn't work. I was told that it wouldn't amount to shit. You know what I'm saying? And it got to the point there, real quick. I knew it was someone I forgot, and there goes the final mod, Candace Marie Creations. I just put it next to your name just now. You are the last of the moderators that I have in here. Yeah, and I was around this person so goddamn much that I was like, shit, like but I didn't notice that this person was dragging me down. Everything, every girl I was messing with, every fucking job or shit I was doing, he was just like, nah, son, nah, man. And then one day, it really hit me, because one day I had got an opportunity that I knew he wanted. And I remember how he told me how dope this opportunity would be if he got it. We both went for this opportunity. He didn't get it and I got it. And I remember him talking bad about all the people that gave me the opportunity. And I asked him, I said, but you bigged up those same people. And I remember I went home that day not feeling happy about the opportunity that I had gotten. And it took me one day, those people that hired me, they called me and they told me how excited it was. And I was down about it. And it was crazy. The guy that hired me, he hit me up. It was a training position as a personal trainer. He hit me up to take me for lunch with the new team. And the new team didn't get there yet. I got there early and we was talking. And I remember saying, man, you know, he was like, you know, he basically told me why he hired me. And he told me why he didn't hire my friend. He said the whole time in the interview, the friend was talking negative about me. And he said that in my interview, I talked highly about him. And he was able to decipher through that conversation, like, wait a minute. This guy right here is, I don't want this person working in my corporation. If he's running around, this guy, because at the end of the day, you know, when you're personal trainers, you have a team. And if this guy can talk about his team member this way that I don't even know like that, and his other team member talking highly about him, and when he let me know that information, man, I never told my friend. I never told my friend that, well, not my friend, not even an acquaintance. I don't even talk to this person no more. But I never told him what had happened. I immediately put that motherfucker in the block party. And y'all know what the block party is. I blocked his number. I stopped taking calls from him. And you know, I basically, I remember I saw him in person, and he was just like, hey, you want to hang out? This, that, and I told him, I said, every day I just told him I was busy. And when I found out that the more and more I was busy, the more and more he didn't want to hang out with me. And the more and more the people that was in my circle, they were telling me the things that he was saying to them. And when I explained to the people in my circle what he was doing, they started to stop. They stopped speaking to him as well. And you know, I mean, I don't know ways, you know what I'm saying? I remember seeing him probably about 2 years ago, man. And you know, shout out to whatever it is he's doing. I wish him the best, but I don't wish him, but he's just not someone that could be around me. And that, and what that was about him is that he didn't want to do the work. He was lazy. He was rude. So women didn't like him. And he put himself in bad situations. And what he did was he turned himself to be a cool person, and he would be around up of our circle and hold us down. That's crazy. I have legit went to interviews to pump up people. Yeah, we might be going for the same position, but I couldn't get it. I wanted him to get it. That is an example I can say with my wife. Now, my wife and I, we're both stand-up comedians. My wife has been doing stand-up comedy longer than me. So phone calls coming here for shows all the time. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Make sure you guys text 202-949-6719 with your number. You'll get a link to every live episode so you don't miss it. I have a dope show coming out this Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. It is my morning show, Curious Reflect versus the World. And I have some dope topics on that show. It's going to be a crazy ass show. No guests, just me. I want you guys to come in there super strong and share it. Back to what I was saying. You can be salty, but at least be happy for your friend who don't make it hard for him or her. And that's true. Ladies, I'm going to tell y'all something. There's a lot of y'all who are single. Some of y'all are single because of shit that personal reasons of your own. But there's a lot of women who don't find men that they want or put themselves in bad situations because you got some salty ass bitch in your corner that's hating on every move that you're trying to make. Every move. I see it. I got a homegirl whose friend that no nigga would talk to. I mean, she looks like
I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this.
And she's giving it my own. And I tell her all the time, I say, yo, why do you listen to this motherfucker? Nobody wants to fuck her. Nobody wants to date her. You understand? And she was, you know, she didn't, and one day she saw it for herself. This chick talked highly about a dude, The dude tried to holler at my homegirl, And next you know, the girl try to paint this man to be in a bad position. You gotta clear your circle. You gotta clear your circle. That's why this episode is called Smoking Mirrors. You gotta clear your circle, man. People conduct themselves in smoking mirrors. Not everybody is good for you, man. You know, some people could come off great and their life be shitty city. You know what I'm saying? Shitty city. And they continuously going through it. You know? You gotta keep yourself away from these shitty ass people, man. That's in your circle. Clear your circle. Don't be afraid to clear your circle. Don't be afraid to block motherfuckers, man. A lot of people be too sensitive to block people. Block them. Especially people, or confront them. Especially people that can't be accountable that they're wrong. You gotta be real with yourself. Sometimes, like if you're wrong, you're wrong. And you might have a lot of wrong people in your system that's around you. And this is a fact. And this is coming from Nick. Now, shitty city is brilliant. Thank you, Zuri. You know, I want to say this. Respect the Stroke t-shirts are out right now. Respect the Stroke, okay? Fellas, you may have some women out there. They may say a lot of shit about you. You might, one thing they might say, look, let me tell you something, fellas. If a woman don't like you no more, he's broke, he's rude, he doesn't know how to clean up after himself, and it's not working out. At least the one thing you got is your stroke. I know a lot of ladies I speak to, and I be like, and they talk a whole lot of shit about the nigga, but she be like, my damn, that stroke, that dick game was something else. She respected your stroke. Respect the stroke. Because if she don't respect your stroke, let me tell you something, man. Your promotional game is bad. A woman will tell her, look, she'll be like, look, not only was this nigga whack, but his stroke wasn't shit. Make sure they're respecting your stroke. Every time you get an opportunity, and to the husbands out there, make sure she respecting your stroke. And for the people that just got out the quarantine, you call that lady up that you've been quarantined away from, and you go over our house and you make sure she respects your stroke. But ladies, I want to leave you out. We got Respect the Stroke t-shirts for you guys too. If your man is stroking you right, you go ahead and get yourself a Respect the Stroke t-shirt and you wear it next to him. I respect this man's stroke. On sale right now. Go to my Instagram at Nick_Carthan. Click the link in my bio. Go to the merchandise. Scroll down. See the Carrie's Red Flag Podcast t-shirts. You see the Demon Wood and Demon Box t-shirts for all the people out there with toxic boxing dick that's out there. And then we got the Respect the Stroke t-shirt. Brand new. Go ahead and get some. Go ahead and buy it. Also, shout out to everybody with their Father's Day donations. After this episode is done, me and my daughter, we're about to go out from these donations because she said she wants to take me out for Father's Day, but clearly I have to pay for it. And we're about to go out to eat, and we're going to go out and have a good time and have a great time, man. Shout out to Kraig Facts for coming on the show. You know how this podcast goes. I like to answer on any show that I do. I like to answer about let's do 6 questions. 6 questions. Give y'all guys 6 questions right now. Shout out to my mod, Marie Creations, My Cups Run Over, Miss Mia, Isaac Gentry, and Andrea Levette. Shout out to you guys who have been modding it up, making sure that people ain't coming in here with the bullshit. Isaac Gentry shot down a comment the other day. I liked it, man, because honestly, my show, you know, I know a lot of people are used to the other shows. They got roasting going on. I'm not with the roasting stuff, man. Just come in, comment on the situation, laugh, have a good time. I mean, I can take a look. You can roast. I don't mind one roast, but if you're just on the page with 9 roasts back to back, like, fam, you know what I'm saying? Shit.
I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this.
I'm a comic. And I can make it bad for a person that's continuously roasted. I'm going to win. I'm up on the screen. But I choose not to do that. I choose to use this platform to make people laugh, feel good, and make sure that people's strokes are being respected. Now, like I said, we got the six questions. You know what I'm saying? That I'm about to do. We gotta make sure that the city ain't shitty. You understand what I'm saying? I got a comedy show tomorrow. I'm doing Rise Washington rooftop Hollywood comedy show tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow, and then at the end of this week, I'll be opening up for Tony Woods at Nate Jackson's super funny comedy club. I hope you guys come down and come check that out, man. That's gonna be really dope. I plan on having a good show with that. Hopefully you guys come on down and you come check that out as well. That should be really good, man. And what else do I want to say? Is there any questions before I go on with my evening? As I can say, before I go on with my evening with my little one, I'm letting the questions roll up right now. Any questions? Hold on, I'm just adding these goddamn adding these hashtags for you guys right now. There we go. Playlist. Yeah, boom. Down. No questions. All right. Well, let me share a live, y'all. 6 questions. 6 questions going in. No questions here. Enjoy your Father's Day and go get some. I'm trying to figure out where me and her gonna go eat. You know what I'm saying? Because she's on some. She wants some pancakes and shit. So I think that I might go ahead. Yes. And my cups run over. Let me put that up real quick. About there's 32 people in here. Let me say this, man. Let's get this channel to 3,000, y'all. Let's get this channel to 3K. So while y'all are in here right now, there's 33 people in here, but I'm so glad see, this is why I have these mods. My cups run over has been supporting since day one. Let me say this. If you guys are online right now, stay here. This is what I want you guys to do. I want you to share the link to a friend right now. And I want you to tell them, say subscribe. So share the link to someone and tell them to subscribe. Tell them to subscribe. That's it. Say subscribe. I will let you know what it is later. Say that. I'll let you know what it is. Say that this guy has a show. His name is Nick Carthan. He's a comedian. He's funny. He has some good content. He has some good guests. This Tuesday, the morning show is going to be crazy because a lot of shit went down this week. And I've been itching to talk about it, but I did not talk about it because I was like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Let me bring it on the morning show because we're going to have a dope morning show and it's just me. The next thing I want to also say is I had 3 people hit me up yesterday and they said, how can they support when you're going to get a Patreon? Look, also promote your Twitch to mate. A lot of folks on here. Please be the boost if you can. Share this channel, this Twitch channel to your friends, man. I'm not too, I had a N7 Sozen. He told me about the Twitch channel, and I got my stuff on Twitch. So if you can, please share this on Twitch to people as well. Tell your people that, hey, this guy's from Germany. Tell me that this guy's from New York City. He's funny. He's a comedian living out in California. Tell him that, man. But if you can, I was asked if, hey, Nick, why don't you put the show on Patreon? And I was telling people, look, before I get it on Patreon, but I got to get the following up a little bit more, but if you want to support me, because Patreon is a channel where you're supporting financially, how you guys can support me, man, is look, any donation on the bottom of the screen, any donation, it all goes to the podcast. I'm building this out of the mud, man. I'm building this, everything. All my followers can tell you. In the beginning, this show wasn't even live. This show was strictly pre-recorded. It was on my laptop camera. Now I got extra lights. I got this microphone. This microphone wasn't here. It was a small microphone that used to be here. My followers know that. All the money that's sent, all the t-shirts, all of that goes to the podcast. So if you guys want to support, hey, man, there's 3 ways right there at the bottom of the screen. There's the Cash App, $ Nick Carthan. I don't care if you send $1. Whatever, is all appreciated. Then you got the PayPal, because people was like, hey, you don't have a PayPal? Booking Nick Carthan at gmail.com. And then there's the Venmo, which is Nick, not underscore, but regular -sign, Nick -sign Carthan on Venmo. All 3 ways to support me and support the podcast. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Nick_Carthan. Go to Instagram at Nick_Carthan. I'm on a journey to get my page at 10K. When I get the page at 10K, I get that swipe up. And when I get to people, when I tell people to swipe up, they can automatically just swipe up and go straight to the podcast and to all the other things as well. You can support by buying the merch. Stroke your Respect the Stroke t-shirts, Curious Red Flag t-shirts, Demon Box and Demon Wood t-shirts, all on the page right now as well. Make sure, like I said, so make sure you guys are following me. Make sure all of that, blah 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 blah. I said that. Let me see. Dash ain't nothing minus about you on your Zuri? I don't dash ain't nothing minus about you on your money. I didn't I think I probably didn't understand. Will do got some experience modding on the Twitch, so I'm gonna be trying to make thanks a lot, man. Listen, my red flag community, all this is done possible by you guys. Ain't none of this shit done without any of you guys right now. Also, I'm trying to hold on. I'm looking at this thing right now. Kenny, come here. We have 40 likes today, man. 40 goddamn likes. I am happy, man. 40 likes today. Listen, check this out, man. Y'all know when the podcast is done, but I also need you guys to do. I know you guys have been in the chat, but one of the major things you could do for me is you can go you can go in the comment section and leave a comment about how you felt about today's episode. So when you get out, when the show is ended, because the chat goes away, go in the comment section and leave how you felt about today's episode, whether you agree with shit or if you didn't agree with shit. Zuri says, you describe your Venmo name with a minus. I encourage you to use the word. Oh, Zuri, listen, man. I got a beard, you know? Nah, but it is so my Venmo is Nick-Carthan. My Instagram is Nick_Carthan. My Cash App is Nick Carthan with the $ in front, and my PayPal is booking Nick Carthan at gmail.com. Like I said, this Tuesday, show up 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. The morning show will be off the chain. It is so much shit going on. I could give you some ideas of what I'm going to talk about, but I'm not going to talk about it right now. You got the Carmelo Anthony, Lala situation. I'll be talking about the nigga who decided to defend himself in court situation that I'll be talking about. It's a whole bunch of other shit that went down. I saw 800-pound woman riding a baby donkey picture that I saw that's gonna be going down. It's a lot. I have a list of shit that I'm gonna talk about. So that will be going down. I'll be talking about on Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. A lot of y'all like, I'm subscribed, I don't see it. So that's why I tell you guys, text 202-949-6719 with your name. And when you text that number with your name, what we can do is thank you, Zuri. What we can do is when you text your name, I group everything male and female, and I send the links. Also, listen to me. The app I pay for. Once again, that app that you guys are texting, I pay for that app. That's why I said the Cash Apps go to supporting the podcast. What I mean by that is when I receive a text message, you know, you can say great show, or you can say thank you, or you could just send your name. But if you try to hold a conversation, that is not for that. I'm not like somebody asked me for directions in the goddamn app. I am paying for this app. God damn it. You got me in my app like
I'm fighting for my life.
All right.
Y'all killing me with this.
The app is not for personal conversation. It is for the development of this show. Am I forgetting anything? It is 4:40 right now. I think what I'm gonna do is, for a treat on this episode, I'm going to tell you guys a quick story real quick. So if I want to tell you guys a story on Father's Day, I need you guys to hit the like button, hit the share button. Make sure that when this show is done, y'all leave a comment. I'm going to tell you guys a quick story. Here it goes. When I was in junior high school in the 7th grade, I went to a Catholic school called St. Anthony's of Padua, in Queens, New York. And I was a bit of a clown, and it was just a funny situation because there was this girl. I'm not going to give her name. I'm going to give her a name. I was going to give her Donna. That's not her real name. Her name is Donna. And Donna was very, I want to say a very juicy girl. Very, 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 healthy. Very healthy. And she had a face like, if you were looking to do the Forrest Whitaker biopic, she had that face, but she was a very big woman, right? No shame, just describing the story to what it is. So one day we were in class and we were all sitting down, and I'm sitting down in the back of the class. And mind you, every day I make sure when I come in, I make sure I tease this girl in the 7th grade. I make sure I teased her every day because I had to do it. I had to do it. You understand what I'm saying? As part of being a class clown, it is my duty to clown someone and make them feel like shit at that time period. I didn't know any better. I'm a child. You know what I'm saying? And I make them feel like shit every day. So we're in the classroom, and everyone is joking on each other. We're watching Land Before Time. Remember Land? So it was a rainy day. They bring the VCR in, and they play this thing called The Land Before Time. If you remember, The Land Before Time was with Littlefoot and the big dinosaur, whatever the fuck. Okay, so they're playing the movie, and before the movie starts, when the movie starts, the dinosaurs were the big dinosaur. What was the dinosaur's name? The T-Rex, whatever it is. Everybody was like, "Oh, that T-Rex, whatever." And I said, "Man, Littlefoot needs to run to Donna because Donna." If that T-Rex eat Donna and he try to swallow her, he gonna choke and die. And everybody started laughing, right? Everybody was laughing or whatever. And Donna was like, "You better shut the fuck up or I'm gonna kick your ass." And I was like, Donna, you ain't. I said, Donna, you hungry. You hungry. Everybody laughing, you know what I'm saying? And Donna mad as shit, right? And Donna was like, "Keep playing with me, Anthony, I'm gonna kick your ass." I'm like, Donna, I told Donna, I said, she like one of the Bernstein Bears. Everybody's laughing. And I was like, look, Donna can't write with a regular pencil. You're gonna have to inflate the pencil to fit in her hand. Her big old dinosaur paw hand. And I'm killing Donna. You know what I'm saying? Now, Donna had 2 buns on her head that was this small because she didn't have a lot of hair. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the reasons she was getting teased, because when you don't have a lot of hair, you don't need to have buns on your head. But that's neither here or there. So Donna, I go on. This is where it gets bad, right? I go to the board, and the chalkboard is about this wide, and I drew Donna's face from this side of the board to the window, to the wall. I drew Donna's face that wide. And I drew the T-Rex in her mouth, right? And everybody's laughing. And the board, while I'm drawing the picture, it just starts to get dark. And I turn around, and Donna smacks me. But when she smacks me, she pushes my face to the board and erases my whole picture. And I just slid out, the classroom. And I came back, and I was like, "You bitch!" Like I I was like, that's all I can say. Like, you bitch, right? And thank God the teacher. This is why this teacher wasn't working there no more, because this nigga had his headphones in playing Game Boy, right? This bitch done whooped my fucking ass. This bitch smacked me across the chalkboard. You know what I'm saying? I had all this white dust on my face, so I jumped on Donna's back. I jumped on Donna's back, but when I jumped, I pushed her, and when she fell, she knocked a couple of people down in the classroom down on the floor, right? So when everybody got up, when the teacher got his headphones up, he was like, Donna, what are you doing? Go to the principal's office. But Donna ain't no snitch. She ain't tell on me. She was like, all right. And I was like, woo! So I went to class. I'm sitting down, man, and I'm like, yeah, Donna crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't sure. I'm like, see? I told the teacher, I made a joke. I was like, damn, Donna's about to eat all the kids. Everybody laughing. And Donna heard that shit. And I saw her face through the little square in the door when she heard that joke. And she looked at me and she was like, you ever saw that movie Jeepers Creepers? She looked at the window. She was like, so I was like, oh shit. Hold on real quick. Let me stop the story real quick. Miss C Jam, I don't ever want you to listen live. So this is what I want you to do. Text 202-949-6719. Text 202-949-6719. It's an app that I pay for. Text that number with your name, and you'll get a link before every live I do so you don't miss out. So Donna, Donna, when I made that joke, Donna, you know, she put her big ass face in the square, and she was like, that means Donna. So I'm in the classroom, right? School going by. Donna downstairs the whole day, and one of my friends coming to me like, "Yo, Donna said she gonna beat your ass." So I was like, "No, Donna ain't gonna beat my ass. Donna gonna try to eat me."
I'm fighting for my life. Yo, killing me with this.
And I'm in the class. I'm like, watch this. I go to the principal's office, right? Principal on lunch. So you gotta sit in this little room while the principal on lunch. The principal don't see me, and I go through the door and knock on the door. And Donna see me. Donna go, I'll go kick your ass. I'm like, Donna, real hungry. Donna want to eat. Donna want to eat. Donna want to eat, but she can't see her feet. Donna want to eat. Donna want to eat. Donna want to eat, but she can't see her feet. Donna want to eat. Donna want to eat. Donna want to eat, but she can't see her feet. And the whole kid is like, Donna want to eat. Donna want to eat. Donna want to eat. Donna want to eat her feet. Everybody's like this. Donna want to eat. Donna want to eat, but Donna can't see her feet. Donna want to eat. Donna want to eat. Donna can't see her feet. And then my homeboy came and said, Donna wants to eat, but she can't see her feet. Feet. She got big old feet. Look like meat. Donna gotta eat. It just got bad. And Donna was in the room, like in the oh man, it was bad because Donna was in the principal office. She was like, ah! She was mad. Like you ever saw when they caught King Kong and they put him in a cage, it was tasered. She was like, ah! Anthony, I'm gonna kill you! And I was outside like this. So Donna is pissed, right? School bell ring, and it was about school about to end. 2:30 come, and I'm outside. I'm walking. I'm outside. I had this sandwich I was eating that I saved from lunch, and I'm walking down the street. And man, me and my boy, we walking down the street, and everybody kind of separated away. We walking. And Donna came down the street. She grabbed me and my boy by the back of our necks. And she just grabbed us and she slammed us on the floor. So I was like, Donna trying to get my sandwich. She's hungry. My boy was like, yo, Donna is having her way with my boy. Because she want to get him out the way because she wants to whoop my ass. Donna got my boy. She's slamming him. He's like, Anthony! She's slamming him around. She's slapping the shit out of him. You know, and these ain't regular slaps. You know what I'm saying? This is a big girl slap. Like she just, And his whole face, my friend was white. Whole face is red. You know what I'm saying? I like, Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? I had to stand there and wait my turn because I didn't want to jump Donna because she's a woman at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So hold on, before I continue the story, Kevin Ford, you seem brand new to the channel. Make sure you text 949-6719. What's your name? So you get an exclusive link to every live so you don't miss it. It's an app that I use. Okay. So, and make sure y'all guys are hitting the like button and make sure you guys are sharing, man. Give y'all an extra story on Father's Day. So, after she finished beating my boy's ass, man, let's get these episodes. Let's get the likes are at 45. Let's get these likes up to 50, y'all. Let's get them up to 50. Shit.
I'm fighting for my life. Yo, killing me with
So after she finished beating the white boy ass, she smacking the shit out of him. He like, he's crying now. She throws up and gets the gate. And she turned around. She's like, I'm surprised you still here, bitch. And I'm like, well, come on, come on, Donna. Right? So Donna throw her hand at me, right? And I move fast, right? I move fast and I throw my whole shoulder into her. So boom, she go, ugh, right? And then I turn around and I jump on Donna's back. And I'm on her back, right? Donna's strong holding her back. And I'm like, yeehaw, Donna, yeehaw! I'm like, yeah, come on, Donna, yeah! Everybody laughing. I'm like, Donna, great. And I slip up, playing around. I slip on the floor, and I fall on the floor, right? And when I'm just going to get up, Donna put a foot in the middle of my chest on the floor. Like, you ever saw Kong versus Godzilla? Godzilla put his foot on it, and I was like, oh, I can't move. And then Donna sit on my waist while I'm on the floor. It's just like the movie Harlem Nights. She said, you gonna learn to respect me. And she's smacking the shit out of me. But Donna's hands smell like peanut butter. I'm like, pow, wow. I mean, so I was like, shit, man. She smacked me twice. I said, she hit me one more time. This is it for your boy. You know what I'm saying? This podcast, when it go on, she'll be the third time. So she move her hand, hit the ground. She scratch, she go, oh, and I poke her in her throat. She go, urgh, and I grab her, and I can't get off, so I'm rolling down the street with Donna. Me and Donna rolled down a whole fucking street together. Boom, boom. Understand, every time she got on top, she's taking the life out of me. If I was Sonic the Hedgehog, she was knocking rings out of me each time. Bring, bring. I happen to roll on the top, and I roll on the top of Donna, and I'm like, Donna, motherfucker, I'm trying to grab her by, I'm trying to choke the life out of Donna, right? But my hand can't get over around Donna's neck. I can't even find this nigga's neck. And Donna like, and it was funny because Donna go, I don't have no neck. And she just smacked the shit out of me. And I rolled down the street again. And I'm like, so look, now where we rolled to, there's no kids. I had the kids running down, right? This is between you and I, guys. So Donna walking up to me, and Donna grabbed me by my collar. I'm like, Donna, please. I beg, Donna, please, listen, Donna, you won. She's like, no, I'm gonna fuck you up for that. I said, Donna, I had to lie to her. I said, Donna, I tease you because I like you. Donna was like, what? I tease you because I like you. She was like, no, you don't. I was like, Donna, just kiss me. So Donna kissed me, man. And that kiss, and oh my God, she had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. She stuck her tongue in my mouth. I was like, ah! And she was like, I'm gonna let you walk away. She said, tomorrow, you better bring me lunch, and you better not talk shit ever again. And I was like, all right, cool. And Donna came, and she walked over, and all the kids came over there. It's like, what happened? And Donna was like, well, Nick said, and before she could finish, I took my backpack, and I cracked Donna right in the back of her fucking shit. Oh! I said, this girl tried to kiss me. Fucking monster. And everybody was laughing. I said, and I hit Donna hard because I had one of them big social study textbooks in the thing. So I hit her in the back of the neck, and she hit the floor. And I was like, everybody was like, oh, you all right there? I was like, yeah, I'm all right. Over here trying to kiss me, telling me she liked me. And so you fucking lying. And but see, this time, when Donna tried to get up, I kept pushing Donna, like I kept rolling on the floor. She kept rolling and shit. She kept rolling. And I took my cheese balls out and I dumped it on Donna's neck. And I was like, and she was like, ah! And everybody was like, I said, Donna can't see her feet. 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 And everybody started saying, Donna can't see her feet. And at that point, right? At that point, what happened was the bus came. And I ran the goddamn bus. And I flew, everybody got on the bus, everybody drove up. And Donna sat there crying. And then the next day when Donna came in, she looked at me. She's like, I'm going to fuck you up. And I said, you going to do what? You gonna do what to me? And the teacher said, what did you say, Donna? Donna, God damn it. Get out of here. They suspended Donna. Now, I know all y'all probably saying I ain't shit, but hey.
That's right. I'm running things. I'm running things.
She should have understood. All right? You can't be out here bullying people, Donna. Wash your goddamn hands. And Tim Brown, you're right. There wasn't no goddamn adult. Where the fuck were the adults at that time? I'm over here about to die. You know what I'm saying? Am Thomas said Donna should have fucked you up for life. Donna should have fucked you up for life. You a snitch. Well, let me tell you something. And for life, somebody said with a wild imagination. No, this ain't a wild imagination. Listen. On the Curious Red Flags podcast, I tell stories that are 100% true. And I can tell the story over and rewind. And I've proved it. I told a story on D-Lay's podcast that I told in the middle of the quarantine. All this shit has happened in my life. In my life, I was a piece of shit. Did I snitch on Donna? Yes, I snitched on Donna. But I wouldn't be here if I didn't snitch on Donna. It is what it is. It's called life. I want to let you guys know that Donna is a school principal right now. I just can't say her name because I don't want Donna to get the show taken down. You know what I'm saying? Because motherfuckers are trying to shit you like, and she looked good. She looked good. Donna is married. She got a whole family, and she looked good, man. So I gave you guys a story, man. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Let's get this up to 50 likes. 47 is cool, man. I see that 47 right now. And comedians ain't got no reason to. Hey, yeah, thank you, Tim Brown. Ain't got no reason to lie. Missing what that girl's heart feelings is so wrong. She ain't letting the boys duck with no more. Hey, man, Donna lost weight. I don't know what the fuck. Donna went and got work done. Donna got a big old ass and a 6'9" boyfriend, and she live in fucking Texas. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even think Donna know I exist anymore. I don't need her to see this podcast and be like, tell that 6'9" nigga, that nigga look like that nigga look like he carried tanks as guns in his hand. So I don't have no reason to run into him. But listen, I was in the 8th grade, and that's when bullying was cool and kids handled the situation well going through all this stuff. So that's really about it, man. And hey, man, at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you this, at the end of the day, okay? At the end of the day, whatever it is that she feels about me, whatever it is, because me and Donna, we met up in high school, right after high school, right before I went to college, right when Donna dropped that weight. She was thick. And me and Donna, she might say in the future, she might say now, she might be like, he was a bully and he ain't shit. And when we hooked up, all she kept saying, but you didn't like me, but you didn't like me, but you didn't like me. But that night, Donna respected the stroke. Curious Red Flag Podcast, episode 47. I appreciate every last one of y'all that watched the show. I appreciate every last one of y'all that hit the like button. Please go ahead when this episode is done. Go in the comment section and leave comments on how you felt about the episode. Also, make sure you guys follow me on Twitch and support. Respect the Stroke t-shirts are out right now. Go to my Instagram at Nick_Carthan. Click the link in the bio and go get yourself a t-shirt. Happy Father's Day to everybody that was in here. Shout out to every last one of my moms that did their thing. Go in the comment section when the live is done and leave a comment how you felt about this episode. Thank you for everybody that made this episode as successful as it was. Shout out to Kraig Smith for coming down and being a guest on this episode. I had fun. Love y'all. Peace. I am out. See you guys on the morning show.
They know